Now, moving on, fate may have led him to politics, which he ventured into at the height of his very career as an investigative journalist after he fell out with his bosses.
In fact, he notes it is through the rigors of unraveling these classified stories that it dawned on him that he would better serve the people if he got a platform where he would graduate from just unearthing evils in the society and hoping someone will pursue justice for the victims to sitting at the decision-making table where he could influence policy.
5 years later, after he was elected to represent Nyali constituency, Honorable Mohammed Ali Mohammed aka Mohaji Chopevo prides himself of having realized transformational development in his constituency, which had only one public secondary school when he was elected to office.
Here is the story of Nyali Member of Parliament, Honorable Mohammed Ali.
Mohammed Ali Mohammed.
Mimi Mohammed Ali Mohammed
is a seasoned Kenyan member of parliament since 2017 after taking oath of office, which was presided by the then Speaker to the National Assembly, Justin Muturi.
Nikiwa nimechaguliwa kama mwanachama wa bunge la kitaifa, na hapa kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu na mtiifu kwa watu na Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Mohammed was born in Isiolo County, where he attended Newslink College of Journalism for his diploma in journalism. He furthered his education at Moi University, where he acquired a Bachelor of Science Communication and Public Relations. Ali was a known journalist from all walks of life. His media journey started in 2002 at Kenya Broadcasting Corporation as a TV producer. In 2003, he moved to Pwani FM as a producer and radio presenter.
My name is Mohammed Ali Mohammed. Those are my full names. I was born in a remote area in past Isiolo, a place called Merti, Iresa Boru. That's where I was born. But I was brought up to Central when I was 3 months old by my dad, who by then was working for the Kenya Canals Limited, which is now Del Monte. He went for World War II. He was born in 1924, a very old man who has done a lot of things for this country. And then from there, I went to Thika Muslim Primary School. I went to O levels in Nakuru, Mombasa. I was on and off Nairobi, Thika, Nakuru, Mombasa. Like that, I finished my O level, went to do my course in journalism at Newslink Institute of Journalism in Thika. And then I got an attachment with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and that's how my career started. From KBC, I went to Mombasa, Pwani FM. From Pwani FM, I went to Saudi Arabia as a waiter at, I don't know if you know Starbucks Coffee. It's an international brand. I served there for 3 years. After that, I came back. I still chased my dream, which was in the media. And
From 2017, he was the Chief Investigations Editor for KTN, where he featured a program called Jicho Pevu.
I got a job with the Radio Salam in Mombasa, and after that I was poached now from Mombasa to Nairobi by KTN, and that's how my career started, Jicho Pevu. And from KTN, I found myself here in Parliament.
Ali explains that what motivated him the most to shift into politics was the then managing director for KTN, Joy Ageo, who he claims started discriminating him because of his close relationship with the chief executive officer.
2 things motivated me. The first thing was not a motivation. The managing editor in charge of KTN, Joe Ageo, when he was poached from Nation, he came to KTN and destroyed everything that we had, everything that we built in many years. Akaleta tu juaji yake, he started hating on me. I don't know, it's because that I had a good salary than him, that I was reporting to the CEO directly. So he started killing Jicho Pevu. So we thought of an idea of coming out of KTN and having our own. And that's how we started African Uncensored with John Alan Namu and Kasim Mohammed.
He also said that another motivation was brought by the fact that his people did not have aggressive leaders to represent them. Instead, they were a bunch of jokers, claiming that if it were for him, he would have ventured into improving the state of education, putting up police stations among many developments, since he was a self-driven guy and passionate to improve the living standard of his people.
So I thought of going to politics as a second option, which was also again something that was burning inside my heart, because our people didn't have any good governance. From the governor, members of parliament, members of county assembly, women reps, senators, we never had a good representative, because they were a bunch of jokers who were never serious about people's issue. And I thought, if I get this opportunity to be a leader in Mombasa, then I'll start by building schools, investing in education, putting up security, police stations, and everything that matters to the people. So I was driven by the passion to change the lifestyle of my people. And I'm happy, because now I'm telling you, by the end of this year, we shall have between 2,500 to 3,000 degrees from Nyali constituency alone. I don't know about the rest who are dancing the podium every day, but my constituency, I'll deliver that.
He further explains the experience he has had since elected as a member of parliament, contrary to when he was a journalist.
In media, it's more of professionalism. In politics, it's the other way around. You are forced to do some things because you are unable to tell somebody yes or no because of the situation he's in. So sometimes you are forced to do some things that aren't what you're supposed to do. And again, it's a culture that has been set by the people before us, those honorable members before us. Parliament is all about three things: representation, legislation, and oversight. I should be a very free man when I'm going out, because my duty is only three. But people outside there don't understand that those are my duties. They know when they meet with you in the restaurant, mwesh, hiyo bill umalize mtu wangu. When there is burial, muhesh, sukuma hiyo kitu. When there is wedding, muhesh. When there is domestic issue, muhesh. When there is no rain, muhesh. When, you know, we have been given a lot of jobs to do that is not ours. And the reason why some of us are coming in is to kick out hiyo cartels na nini, so that we have other young people after us that will come on board and find a very conducive environment for them to work.
Among the achievements Ali has achieved since elected as a member of parliament include increasing the number of government secondary schools from 1 to 7 in the 5 years period term that he has been in office, building 60% of Cabro roads, giving out bursaries, among many others.
For example, when I was elected as a Nyali member of parliament, we only had one government secondary school, one. A population of 300,000 people with only one government secondary school. So far we have done 7 in 5 years. We have done 60% of the roads, Cabro roads. We have given out a bursary, and by the end of this year, I might be having between 3,000 to 4,000 graduates in terms of degree. We have done the first library in Nyali constituency. We never had a library. We have done it. That will serve the both primary, secondary, and the university students. We have done water. We have done security. I'm very sure if you've been traveling to Mombasa, Nyali had only one police station in the entire constituency, and that is Nyali Police, which is, funny thing is that it is somewhere where the rich people live. So the rest of the poor people were left without security. So we have built 4 more police stations in Nyali constituency, and that's why you don't hear a lot about Wakali wa Kwanza and everything, because I made sure that I had a buffer zone between Nyali and Kisauni. We share a border, and the problem usually emancipated from Kisauni. So I've created a buffer zone by building 2 police stations at far end, one in Mwatamba and the other one in Mbungoni. And then we did a Kongoya one. We are doing playing grounds for our children. We have done a lot of work in Nyali constituency. Bursary top notch. Children are going to school, and now we are not worried, because before we used to send our children out of Nyali. Now we are not sending them because all the schools are there. We have done Kongoya Secondary School, Mohammed Ali Girls, the first girls school in Nyali since independence. We have done Kwabulo Primary, Kwabulo Secondary, Pentrose. We have bought 5 buses for all these 5 schools. I mean, it's amazing. So I don't want to be rated by those who are complaining that they don't see my presence. I want to be rated by the people who voted for me.
Ali recommends that a bigger percentage of journalists covering the proceeding in the parliament are misused by the member of parliaments, and therefore a special training should be done to them to ensure that they acclimatize with the parliamentary surrounding.
I think for the journalists who are covering parliament, they should be given a special training. First of all, to understand the environment that members of parliament are in. Because if I tell you to be a member of parliament for a day, you will run away. Just for a day, you will run away. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing. Usidanganywe na mtu. So I think the journalists who are doing these jobs here, they are covering members of parliament. They should be taken for a training. They should even be shown the breakdown of the salary, what it stands for, what we are doing, and everything. So that when something happens, they have that knowledge and they know how to counter it or they know how to publish it. But sometimes it's just, and I'm afraid about members of parliament, members of the fourth estate who are covering parliament. I'm really afraid on how they are being used. You know, that somebody can just pick up a phone, aseme andika nilisema hivi na hivi nikamnyorosha na uandike mzuri. You know, you cannot fall for such a tree. So I feel for them. I feel like they need more training here, and at the same time they need space to work without being questioned, without being, dangling a carrot there to tell them to write this and this. Because if you look at stories every day, is this one said this one said this. No, we can't live in that world. We must live in the three sides of the story, not the two sides. Your side, my side, and then the truth. So yes, I agree, they need more training, more training. They need even to be taken for retreats when members of parliament are going for covering committee and everything, so that they can see, apart from being in the chambers, what else do we do outside there. So I wish the speaker can allow such a thing for members of fourth estate to get massive training.
Shifting into the issue of LAP Fund and LAP Trust, Ali states that they managed to secure the retirement money that goes to a private entity when he was in the finance committee. He also brought a bill on the psychotropic drugs through the committee, of which the president had already appended his signature. During the proceedings in the parliament, Ali brought a motion on health issues where he was proposing that all the 47 counties to have at least one referral hospital, and also a motion about waiver where he was proposing that the dead should not be charged any bill. This was an achievement since then the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Silsil Karaoke, gave instructions to hospitals across the country that the dead should not be charged any bill.
I can say that first of all, there was an issue of LAP Fund and LAP Trust, I think. We managed to secure, this retirement money that will have been going to a private entity. We managed to secure it when I was in the finance committee. We managed to secure it, and the LAP Trust for the government is still working. So that's the biggest achievement. Second is the bill that I brought through the administration and justice committee, the bill on drugs, psychotropic drugs, that was recently, the president appended his signature. We changed the bill completely from the old bill to the new bill, where we make it very hard for the barons. Now, since the president has signed, I think from next year, God willing, if I'll be back here, we shall now go for them without fear or favor. Another thing that I've done is to bring a motion on health matters that I was proposing that each and every county in this country, we have 47 counties, to have a referral hospital. We cannot have two referral hospital in Kenya since independence, Kenyatta and Eldoret one, Moi Teaching. So that's the other one that I brought. The other one that I brought, the motion of waiver when someone dies in the hospital. I mean, you cannot ask a dead person money. Yeah, I asked for waiver, which the CS by then was, I think, Cecily Karaoke, if I'm not wrong. And yes, she gave instruction that if somebody dies in hospital, it should be waived, the bill should be waived. And it did wonders to the poor people, because that was another burden. Somebody dies with a bill, you put in the mortuary, the bill keeps on accumulating. You are not solving the problem, you are adding more problems.
On matters of impeachment, Ali states that he was one of the pioneers who championed for the motion of impeachment of the then CS for Transport, Mr. Macharia, and the then CS for Education, Mr. Matiang'i, though all was not successful.
The other thing is the impeachment of the CS for Transport, Macharia. I tried my level best. The cartels killed it, but I did try my. You know, when I was bringing the impeachment, somebody was asking me, "Do you know who this person is?" And I'm like, "Does he also know who I am?" And they laughed. As people told me that this is the right-hand man of Uhuru Kenyatta, and I'm like, "I'm the right-hand man of the people of the Republic of Kenya." So that was the motion that the impeachment motion that I brought. The second impeachment motion of Matiang'i. I think we had issues with COVID, and we were on recess a lot of the times, and it turned out to be a political thing. People were called in groups, and it was killed even before we proceed.
In the Finance Committee of the Parliament, Ali says that they have a special fund committee of which they have managed to give direction to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to take action on the stealing of money in a lot of government projects.
The other thing, maybe in committee side, we have Special Funds Committee. We have managed to save or to give direction to the DCI on a lot of government projects, because we deal with funds that have stalled or money has been stolen and that it hasn't been done. There's a place, I think in, I don't know if it is in Kilifi, I can't remember well, but a member of parliament said that he built a social hall, but in reality it was his house.
Ali was once spotted with a gun during the proceeding of the House, which was being presided by the then Speaker to the National Assembly, Justin Muturi.
Honorable Mohammed Ali is carrying something behind his back, resemblance of a gun.
This raised an eyebrow to the House.
A gun?
Mr. Speaker, allow me to surrender. Don't personalize it.
Honorable Ali, please can you go out and...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. This matter, in view of the admission of the honorable member, be referred to the Powers and Privileges Committee.
We are all human beings, and sometimes we end up forgetting doing something. If my honorable colleague saw there's a problem, he could have approached me quietly, politely, and tell me to surrender.
Ali claims that it was not intentional, but he had just forgot to surrender his items to the Sergeant at arms.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
My apologies. I forgot to leave my things outside. My apologies. I'm a human being.
He narrates the challenges associated with being a member of parliament, saying that being a father of 300,000 people is tiresome and stressful, but despite all, he is still committed to helping the people of Nyali constituency.
You know, being a father of 300,000 people in Nyali is the most difficult job. I become the first one to wake up and the last to sleep. By the time I sleep, I make sure sijasikia crime yoyote. I check on my guys, CS hapa mahali hivi kuko salama, iko sawa nini. Ile kesi iko tu ni walevi wameshikwa. I'm the first and the last. Being a father of 300,000 people. And I'm trying. There's an MP who is a father of close to 600,000 people. And I feel for him. The big constituency, the terrain, how he maneuvers, it's not a joke. So ukisikia mtu amekuja hapa bunge ameshinda, heshimu huyo mtu. That man amesuffer sana before afike.
Above all, Mohammed Ali is a husband to a wife and has children with him.
I'm also a family man. I have my kids around me, and also they need that parental feel and touch. So there's a time that you feel you are completely worn out, and that is the time unasikia hapatikani, amezima simu, ameingia.
Reporting for Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm William Juma.